After a months-long stalemate and growing worries over the world's biggest economy defaulting on its debts, U.S. President Joe Biden and top congressional Republican Kevin McCarthy reached a tentative deal over the government's debt ceiling on Saturday evening.
After weeks of negotiations, we have come to an agreement in principle. We still have a lot of work to do, but I believe this is an agreement in principle that's worthy of the American people.
McCarthy announced the deal after a 90-minute phone call with the president. The House Speaker told reporters at Capitol Hill that he planned to speak with Biden again on Sunday after he finishes writing the bill and aimed to put it to a vote on Wednesday. In a statement, Biden called the deal an important step forward, saying, quote, "The agreement represents a compromise, which means not everyone gets what they want. That's the responsibility of governing." The deal would raise the $31.4 trillion debt limit for 2 years, while capping spending over that time. It also involves clawing back unused COVID funds, speeding up the permitting process for some energy projects, and adding some work requirements for food aid programs for poor Americans. The deal is needed to avoid a debt default that would destabilize the economy. But it still needs to be passed by a closely divided Congress and before the Treasury Department runs out of money to pay its bills. That deadline is now on June the 5th, according to the Treasury.
2 Los Angeles residents were arrested for allegedly taking part in a Beijing-directed scheme to disrupt US-based practitioners of Falun Gong, a spiritual movement banned in China for its criticism of the Chinese government. The Justice Department on Friday alleged the pair tried to bribe an undercover federal agent posing as a US tax official, paying $5,000 in cash, with the promise of more rewards if he or she advanced a complaint with the Internal Revenue Service to revoke federal tax exemption for a Falun Gong entity. Stripping the entity's exempt status would increase its federal tax obligation. The department quoted a suspect in an intercepted call saying the bribes were intended to carry out China's aim of toppling the Falun Gong. China's embassy in Washington did not immediately comment on the charges. Falun Gong is a spiritual movement founded in the 1990s, based broadly around meditation. It has called for people to renounce the ruling Chinese government, and in turn Beijing calls it a cult organization that threatens national stability. Friday's charges were announced a month after federal agents arrested 2 New York residents in suspicion of operating a Chinese secret police station in Manhattan's Chinatown district.
Iraq has launched a $17 billion project to link a major port on its oil-rich southern coast to the border with Turkey by rail and road. Baghdad hopes the Development Road project will transform Iraq's economy and aging transport network after decades of war and crisis, shortening travel time between Asia and Europe in a bid to rival the Suez Canal. The project to link the Grand Foul port, which is still under construction, was announced on Saturday at a conference to court Arab investment. Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani said the Development Road project aimed to achieve a sustainable non-oil economy. Iraq's government envisions high-speed trains moving goods and passengers, links to local industry hubs, and an energy component that could include oil and gas pipelines. Officials say the Development Road is based on something new, a period of relative stability since late last year that they hope can be maintained.